on the recent escalations in Israel and Gaza. Sally Patterson in New York, reporting for DD India.
And Amrit Pal Singh joins us live from Jerusalem. Amrit, Israeli tanks are reported to have crossed into Gaza for what Tel Aviv calls a targeted raid. So the Israeli military and the Hamas are both keeping up attacks on each other. Fill us in on the latest on the Israel-Hamas war.
Well, that's right, Ramesh. Last night, the Israeli tanks, two columns of Israeli tanks and infantry went in. The Israeli Defense Forces or the IDF have released some black and white footage which we cannot independently verify, saying that, they targeted numerous, I'm quoting them, they targeted numerous terrorist infrastructures and destroyed them. They also say that they destroyed a number of missile launch posts and anti-tank missile launch posts, and they have retreated back since. And so this is what the Israeli Defense Forces claim. It was the last time, about 3 days back, they had attempted a similar attempt, but at a much smaller level, which had been repulsed by Hamas, in which one soldier of the Israeli army was killed and 3 injured critically. They're trying to get in the public announcements or statements by their leaders, right from the Prime Minister to their Defense Minister, is that we will go in. Yesterday, Netanyahu said that he'll not reveal when and how, but he said we are looking at the next stage, which is ground invasion. So that is what is happening. In retaliation, the Hamas is firing rockets into the Israeli territory and hitting, trying to hit as much as it can, because most of these rockets are intercepted and destroyed in the air, but some of them do land in open fields, so the destruction being reported is very less, and it's mostly close to the Gaza Strip border, which is called Gaza Enclave, within Israeli territory. Even today, the Israeli Air Force continues to pound targets inside Gaza by aerial bombing, and is continuously dropping leaflets into Gaza, asking the Gazans to move out and move south. But the fact is that they continue hitting the south as well. Yesterday, 3 targets in southern Israel were hit, in southern Gaza Strip were hit as well. So they're trying to cause maximum damage to what they say is pinpointed or precision bombing of Hamas infrastructure, and where they believe or where their intelligence tells them the Hamas are hiding or have their capabilities stored. Ramesh?
Amrit, I want us to dwell a bit more, if you will, on what you said just now. Now, Netanyahu has made a televised speech. He says Israel is preparing for a ground invasion of Gaza. So is it only a matter of time? When, not if?
That's right. It looks like that they would go in for a ground invasion because, their stated objective is to completely eliminate Hamas. If they want to achieve that, they need to get into close combat, because Hamas are guerrilla fighters. They, through aerial bombing, you can, hit their infrastructure, you can weaken their ammunition dumps, etc. But if you have to kill each and every Hamas fighter, you have to go in, you have to go inside those tunnels, you'll have to flush them out, you will have to go in for a close combat. Now, so they will have to go in. The question of when is a little complicated. As Benjamin Netanyahu yesterday said, he'll not reveal. There are 2-3 factors. One, I think the international pressure. Honestly, though they don't care too much for it or the civilian count going up, they have already stated publicly that those who do not move out, the civilians, will be treated as collaborators of Hamas. So if you read the tenor, their tone and tenor, they don't care about the civilian casualties happening really, so they can ward off the international pressure to whatever extent they can. I think what is weighing more on their mind is, one, the fate of the hostages, which includes elderly, women, children, including foreign nationals. Now, according to latest Israeli estimates, 130 of 38 out of the 222, which makes more than half, are foreign nationals, which includes Germans, Argentinians, Americans, Russians, etc. So that would be weighing on their mind, including their own people. What if, the sentiment on the street is that people are already angry, the people are traumatized by what happened on the 7th of October. Now, if Hamas starts killing them one by one and starts releasing footages of, killing them in a very brutal fashion, and that is blared on or plays on television screens in Israel, so what sort of a reaction would it have within Israel? So the politician and Benjamin Netanyahu will have to weigh that as well, or factor that in as well. The second, I think, would be about, if they go in, it is not that Hamas would sit and run or scoot. The Hamas would fight back. And the reservists they've recalled, they aren't really trained for, a very close combat, an urban warfare, or the bloody game that will play out then. Imagine the scenario. Hamas standing on rooftops, shooting, blending in with the civilians, booby-trapped buildings, rubble mixed with explosives. They're getting inside tunnels. Even if they get specific, there are about 500 kilometers of tunnels inside, many opening into Syria and Egypt. So close to about 1,500 tunnels there. So there is 1,300 tunnels in there. So they'll have to have very specific information before they go in, and there will be a toll here. Remember what happened when the Americans went into Mosul in 2016, and there was a similar situation, and the Iraqi fighters were half, or the ISIS Islamic State fighters were half of what Hamas is. Look at the death count, 10,000. Right. So all that will have to be factored in, and so the question of when will depend upon all these factors, Ramesh.
Absolutely. And finally, Amrit, the UN says Gaza is running out of fuel. Now, certain hospitals, we are told, have stopped their services. Any word on when and how many aid trucks would be allowed to enter or have already been allowed to enter the besieged enclave?
Less than 70 in the past 4 days. 20 was the agreed number between the Americans and the Egyptians, that 20 trucks every day. Not every day have 20 trucks passed. We'll know the figures of the trucks passed through the Rafah crossing by the evening. That's when the Red Crescent releases the numbers for today. But till yesterday, less than 70 trucks in 4 days. Assuming there are 20 trucks that have passed today or are passing today, say about 90, which is way short than what is required. Hospitals are truly running out of fuel. The UN has warned, saying UN aid agency has said that we wouldn't be able to operate. 12 out of 35 hospitals stopped. 219 educational institutions closed down. Cairo, Egypt has set up 12 makeshift hospitals near the Rafah crossing and in and around Cairo to see that medical aid can be sent in. If fuel doesn't go in, generators will stop, desalination plants will stop, drinking water will be a problem, surgeries will stop, incubators will stop, oxygen supply will stop, so it'll affect the hospitals in a very, very bad way. Then you'll have, apart from those dying in the shelling and the bombarding, you'll have another set of problems. People dying out of lack of medical equipment and clean drinking water.
Absolutely. All right, we'll leave it at that. Amrit, thank you once again. Appreciate it. So as Amrit was reporting there